How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Shifting Lanes. My name is Hanson. Thanks for tuning into the video. And for this one, I'm sitting inside a 2022 Lexus LX600. This is their flagship SUV that has been drastically redesigned inside and out. It has a brand new powertrain, brand new interior, brand new infotainment system, and a confident new look. And with all the added options, this specific example that I have right now with delivery costs $107,585. And in this video, I'm going to share with you my likes and dislikes about it so you have a better idea before you buy. I want to start this review with the styling of this new Lexus, which I think looks far improved compared to the last generation LX. This is the F Sport model, so it carries the sportier and blacked out version of the grille. The headlights on the LX now looks a lot better than the previous one. It follows the simple but aggressive looks of the latest design changes you see in the other facelifted Lexus models. It still has the triple beam LEDs and that unmistakable checkmark daytime running light, but it's now just a bit more condensed with a cleaner presentation. This hood has also received a more pronounced twin bulge, perhaps to highlight the extra power that this one is making over the previous generation's 5.7 liter V8. Around the side, there's 22-inch forged wheels hiding some decent brake hardware. There's a fixed running board to help you get inside. The wheel arches are sharpened and the character lines are more well-defined. And at the rear, the new LX abides by the updated corporate badge of spelling out the word Lexus. The taillight configuration also mimics what you could find in the redesigned Lexus NX, but it's not quite as radical as the new redesigned LX, which if you want to see, check out the video up in the corner. And some LX enthusiasts may be bummed to find that the tailgate is now no longer a split design. That was one of my favorite things about the old one. It provided a good place to sit behind the car, though in this one, you could sit back there as well. Moving inside, the new LX has been hugely improved. The layout is more modern, and I think it highlights Lexus's new desire to attract younger buyers. The infotainment system is now much better than the old one. The old LX used a horrible mouse-like device. This one uses a simple touchscreen. But what's even better is that the software is much easier to use. Navigating through the menus is very simple. And if you're searching for anything, the voice recognition works really well that you never really have to type anything in. Just say, "Hey Lexus,
what do you want to do?
Take me to the Empire State Building."
I found Empire State Building. Would you like to go now?
Yes. Oh, and by the way, if you're still watching up to this point, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Myself and the rest of the Shifting Lanes team would greatly appreciate it. Now, moving on to the secondary screen, this is more like a utility screen. The first tab shows the climate settings. The second tab is a general vehicle information that shows your transfer case setting, your G meter, because why not, your drive mode, and the amount of brake and gas that you're applying. It also shows your active height control. That's one of the extras that's been installed in this vehicle. And also, if you're changing your multi-terrain select system, it'll also show the background on there. Right now we're on auto, and if we switch it over, we have dirt. So you have like a dirt gravelly kind of background. And then there's sand, mud, and then deep snow. This basically changes the active height control depending on those situations. So in deep snow, obviously, you want your car to be as high as possible. Now, while we're still on the subject of screens, if you look at the instrument cluster, that is now digital. It's not a fully digital display that you could find in other cars, but the center display is fairly large. That's a nice upgrade from the previous model, but when compared to how smooth and clean looking the operation is on the two main screens, this one looks last generation. When you scroll between the menu items within the digital cluster, it looks pretty choppy. So from a design aesthetic perspective, it looks like this screen, the secondary screen, and the instrument cluster was designed by 3 separate design teams. There's not a cohesive style, and it looks like it's running on different generations of hardware. I do like the Climate Concierge button on here. This is the snobbiest sounding button, but when you press it, it'll turn all of the temperature related features in the car to automatic. So it's not just going to control the air temperature, it's also going to control the heated and ventilated seat features, and also whether to turn on the heated steering wheel or not. And right below that, you'll find a set of driving mode buttons and dials. The mode select button allows you to change your driving mode from Eco, Comfort, Normal, Sport S Plus, and Custom. And if you go all the way into Custom, you can actually modify different aspects of the driving dynamics, such as the powertrain, suspension, steering, and air conditioning. And then you have your multi-terrain select, drive mode, and downhill assist and crawl control buttons. When you're in multi-terrain select mode, your mode select dial allows you to change the MTS setting. This will affect how your 4x4 system will behave depending on what kind of surface you have, whether you're in dirt, sand, mud, or deep snow. And lastly, if you're in downhill assist or crawl control, and if you're in 4 low, this mode select dial becomes the speed controller. Other handy buttons you should be aware of while you're off-roading is your diff locker button over here, and then your active height control buttons over here. As for the steering wheel, hey, look at that. There's no old cruise control stock on the steering wheel column anymore. They've put those buttons on the actual steering wheel like every other brand. The paddle shifters and the stalks on the steering wheel feel pretty good. This is a nice upgrade from the previous version, though there is one way Lexus could improve on this is if they included the touch sensitive buttons from their new Lexus NX. Those buttons actually correspond to items on the heads-up display, and it makes that heads-up display a much more versatile display than ever before. As for the second row, this one comes with a bench style seating, so this is the 7-seater version of the LX. There's a good amount of legroom back here at 36.6 inches. The center console shows a complete set of HVAC controls, and the outboard seats are heated and also ventilated. As for the third row, I think the kids will sit just fine in these leather seats. There's a total of 4 juice box holders, and there's even 2 USB-C chargers back here for their devices. If you happen to have adults sitting back here, well, let's just hope that they deserved it. Now, when the third row is down, cargo capacity is at 44 cubic feet, and with the second row folded down, you'll get up to 64 cubic feet. If you have the third row up, you wouldn't really be able to fit much back here because it's very shallow. I have my 30-liter Peak Design bag here, which I can carry on board, and it fits just fine. But anything bigger than that, then you're gonna have a tough time. Even if you have groceries back there, I'm afraid of stuff just tumbling out when I open the hatch. I'm starting to miss that split tailgate even more. So enough about that. How does the new Lexus LX drive? I really thought I was gonna miss the V8 when I drove the LX, but this new power plant, which is a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6, is pretty powerful. This is the same engine that's found in the new Toyota Tundra and the new Toyota Sequoia, but this one doesn't come with a hybrid option. So it's packing 409 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. Connected to the engine is a smooth shifting 10-speed automatic transmission. So this LX feels pretty potent getting on the highway and around local roads. Fuel efficiency is also massively improved by going with turbos and having extra gears in the transmission, because the LX is now rated at 17 city, 22 highway, and 19 combined. That's still not something to be proud of, but considering that last year's model was rated at 12 city, 16 highway, and 14 combined, this is a huge improvement. Ride-wise, it's not going to match something like what the Lexus RX or the Lexus NX or any of the other Lexus cars can do. But considering that this is a full-time 4-wheel drive body-on-frame car, I think Lexus did a pretty commendable job making the ride feel as Lexus as they could. This being a heavy and tall car, there's a lot of body roll in here too, and the effect of course gets worse when the active height control is set up in the highest position. But when it comes to off-roading, here's where having the LX makes sense. The body on frame construction, great ground clearance, with the active height control, the full-time 4-wheel drive and 2-speed transfer case will make it easier for you to get around. Depending on the trails, of course. I don't have access to the really nasty and rocky stuff, but for the unimproved road sections that I drive through, this LX handled it with ease. And it was pretty damn comfortable too. And as for towing capacity, this is capable of towing up to 8,000 pounds. The one before it, 7,000 pounds. So overall, this new LX is much better than the old LX. It's got more power, it's got more beauty, and it's got better technology. I want to hear your thoughts. Please let me know in the comments below. I want to thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. If you've learned something, please consider hitting that like, subscribe, and especially that notification bell so that you can be notified anytime we make a new video. Let's wrap it up right there. My name is Hanson. This has been the 2022 Lexus LX600, and I'll see you next time.